Yeah, sorry about that. We seem to have a little bit of latency on the setup there. I just need a few more seconds while Paul is setting up the game right now. I just want to get the stream up and running so everybody here could see what was going on. I really appreciate everybody stopping by today. If you're here to check out the preview for Beta 5, you're in the right place because that's what we'll be talking about today.
All right. There we go.
All right, we are good to go now. Hey, everybody. I'm the producer on Galactic. My name is Ray. And then across from me is the lead designer, Paul. And he will be showing us the Beta 5 preview today.
Yep. We've got a bunch more stuff. Some of it's a little less flashy, but a lot of new things hooked up that are going to this build.
Is the mic close to you, Paul? It's not peeking for me.
Test, test, test. I mean, it's pretty close.
There we go. Okay, thank you.
Hello?
All right, it's definitely good now.
Okay. Anyway, so we have a lot of stuff that we're kind of some of like the finishing touches of things are starting to go in. One of the bigger things is that we started adding. Here, let's look at it play as. I do like these Iconian ships. Let's play as Iconians. We started adding the minor races in. So you can see here, I've got minor races set to common, which means I'll get we're going to get some better tooltips on here eventually that will say, like, you'll get 3 to, depending on the map size, you'll get a certain range. So this, I think, is like up to 12. Oh, no, actually, that'd be up to 6 or something like that on the map. Let's add a couple regular races. And let's see, medium map is fine. Actually, probably don't even need to go. Yeah, we're going to have all those minors, medium. Victory conditions are all still the same. Okay, so now we also have research rate hooked up, which will essentially speed up how quickly research is done. So if you want to play a faster game, if you want to get through the tree quicker, you can actually adjust the research rate. You can also change the game pacing, which adjusts a couple stats. Right now, primarily production essentially makes things harder to build or easier to build, depending on the rate you have them. So these are ways you can essentially, if you don't want to play a week-long game, or if you do want to play a week-long game where you have exploited every single planet and everything, you can adjust all these. These are classic Galciv options. And Galaxy difficulty, which will essentially say, I want all of my AIs to be tough. What? Oh, your custom AI difficulty. Yes, okay, that's fine. So I want all my... I thought it was asking me to reboot. I was about to scream. Okay, anyway, so that so I can actually say I want all the AIs to start at tough difficulty. Now, that doesn't mean I can't go in here and go, actually, I want these guys... Hey, it seems like it's out of sync because these all say genius. Maybe it's just a naming problem? Oh, yeah. Yeah, these are... Yeah, we should do... Oh, I think that was because this also controls pirates in it. We didn't want it to be exact. So, yeah, so tough essentially resets all the AI difficulties. But I could go in here and say, actually, I hate the dredges. So I want them to be stupid. And, oh, and this is still a bug. Let's remove a new race name. And I can say I like the dredgen. I want them to be godlike. And then I can also go in here and say... I want to play the Altarians and me versus the Dredgen and the Yor. All right. Oh, and this number apparently is including minors, so we'll have to make sure that doesn't happen. All right. So those are kind of the new settings. Everything else is pretty much the same. I don't want to... Let's go tight clusters because that seems to be the most... fastest way to start people killing each other. All right, so we're gonna build the map. So now we've got a bunch of minor races in the game, as well as the main factions. Do we have any questions while we're loading?
We have a few from the forums. Actually, one's kind of general, asking, can you please tell us more about the progress of the AI?
Yes. Well, we're working on the AI. It's gonna be a lot better in Beta 5, but it will not be finished. So you can take that with a grain of salt. Now it actually picks ways like depending on its personality, it'll go, I really want to win by conquest, and it'll start pushing its way that way. Whereas in the current build, it essentially just kind of wanders along and goes, hey, I'm just going to try and do everything. And that's not any fun. So now we specialize. Now we get in. Hey, let's see if they got rid of my bricks. The brick's still there. Oh, this is what Jesse was saying, is that in this screen they show up. You need to get rid of those. Anyway, so yes, the first thing I show you is a bug. We're working on it. The AI won't ever be done, but it'll be much smarter, and it'll be even smarter in the next build, and smarter in the next build, and it'll just keep getting smarter, especially once the game is out and we have players to exploit the AI, and we have to learn how to counter them. And we've created a lot of special tools to allow us to do that. So I'm going to actually maybe play like a normal person for a little bit here. One of the things I showed these buttons, I'm going to build a constructor because I want to show a new, ooh, look, these, hey, Brandon, these starting ship files accidentally got checked in. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to do colony ship and a constructor. And let's see. And I will go back to my planet, and I'm going to build me some factory. Ooh, got a good planet layout this time. And change my settings. Do we have any more questions? Well,
I was just noticing one in the chat actually mentioned about how to make the origin block invisible, and that is planned. And
as a matter of fact, that is a new feature. As a matter of fact, I might be able to show that. That's why I said it wasn't supposed to show. And you'll notice here that we have a new robot here. Well, this is the old robot, but he's different shaders and stuff. And I think this one is still being squished. And Ray actually just fixed that like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I do not have that. I do not have that checked in.
So that is not checked in.
That is fixed. Yep.
Also, we noticed, Brad was complaining last week that the where's the closest planet? Let's go here. Oh, hey, look. And this is not using the right graphic, but here's a Tholium planet now. So now Tholium, one of the things that's coming in this build is all of the resources are going to be mineable, including Tholium and Prometheon. And more importantly, you're going to need them. There's going to be a buttload of components. All the high-end components are going to start requiring resources. All of the augments are now going to be in. All the support modules are going to be in. These are kind of things I can't really show today, but I will probably show off next week. And explore turn. So there's that. What I really want to do, honestly, is build me a. Anyways, I'm just going to hit turn again. Any more another question?
This one actually, you had kind of covered it, but I want to make sure it was addressed. That the question states: will we be able to select specific minor races, or just indicate the number of them to be included?
Right now, you will only be able to pick the number of them.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you want to manually pick races, they have to be major. We may change that someday, but we don't want minors to. Minors really should be kind of a wild card. It adds to the map. All right. Well, I thought I had this guy on the survey. I guess.
Here's an interesting question about carriers. Will carriers still be confined to using beam weapon fighters?
Okay. So I am reworking the carrier system, and it'll pretty much be completely different. Hey, what's that? I got a gunboat. Cool. For the moment, I will actually have him. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll have him go in with this fleet. Okay. Also, one of the things that is in now is there are anomalies that are guarded. So I need somebody to defend my survey in case he stumbles upon one. It'll prompt you and say, do you want to research it? And generally you say no if you're an unarmed ship. But that's one of the ways of kind of keeping some resources around for later. Oh, why did I fly right into Iconia? So anyways, so what there's now going to be 4 types of fighters. There are drone interceptors, which are little, essentially, guns, and they're little fast ships with thrusters on them that will fly out and try and take out your enemy's support ships. This all goes into the kind of the role stuff, which, is loosely in Beta 4, but not really. So it's going to be a big change in the way battles are fought right now. As a matter of fact, right now you'll probably be able to outsmart the AI pretty quickly, but with these things. But we're gonna make sure that doesn't stay the case for long. So there's going to be interceptors, and then there'll be guardians, and then there'll be escorts and assault ships. And escorts and assaults are both small-hulled ships, and they are going to be. Currently, I don't have any plans to let the player adjust them, but they will not be just snipers. They're going to be designed specifically for their task, and that way I can make sure they don't get out of control. And because one of the problems right now is we get, the fighters are just super overpowered. I think everybody will admit that. And there's also going to be 2 tiers of carriers. So you'll get the drones first, and then and I might even have like ones that give you more ships or hold. So we got a lot of tweaking to go with that. But I am changing that. I purposely am not letting the players choose what they carry at the moment, though that might come at some point. Oh, look, and here's our first minor race. And I apparently don't have Universal Translator. And where are they? Is that them? Look, their icons are not mapped.
It's a really pleasant place. Gloomia?
Gloomia. I bet Gloomia has... Here, let's go to diplomacy. So here is... hey, we still have that bug, and this is fixed. It actually kind of looks cool, but it's a bug. All right, so here's Gloomia. I can click on Gloomia here. A young and promising race until the Galactic traders introduced them to euphoric vapors that were enjoyed by other... Okay, so apparently they're a bunch of druggies, apparently. Deeply addictive. So these are... look, they only have 1 stat. I'll probably give them more stats. But anyway, so here's Gloomia. We have the same ideology as Gloomia, which is sad to say. And we are at race. Oh, that's a bug. We're all at war with the pirates. Anyway, so yeah. So now, and you can see Gloomia is a little smaller here because it's a minor. You could also say only show minors, only show majors, show all. So yeah, there's our first minor. Now the great thing about minors, if anybody who's played Galactic 2 will tell you, is that they're the best people to trade with, and they're the best people to make tech trades with. So I should probably start researching Universal Translator ASAP. Anyways. Okay, so my shipyard is idle. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, yeah, this is the whole point of what I wanted to show. So I've got this constructor here. Where do I want to put him? Let's put him over here by Gloomia, actually. Although, if all I want to do is make a example, I probably shouldn't have bothered. Okay.
There is mention too with how is the management of Starbases being handled? Because they kind of feel like they're drowned in Starbase management right now.
That is what I was about to talk about.
Oh, awesome.
So that is a very okay. So that's why I wanted to get a Starbase out here so you can kind of see. I'll just put him right here. I'm not going to have time to really play. So I'm going to construct a Starbase. Okay, so a couple things we've done to kind of make life a little easier is now you can literally select this Starbase and hit Request Constructor. And what that will do is order a Starbase from the nearest nearest shipyard. If there was an idle shipyard sitting around, it would just an idle constructor would just grab it. So there is constructor requested 1. When it's done, it'll say constructors on route 2 or whatever 1 and available constructors and the thing. So now I don't have to think about it. That Starbase is waiting on. I could actually do that hopefully this was set up this way. I could say, yeah. So I want 6 constructors. I've ordered this. This guy will now get constructors. And then what these do, oh, hopefully, let's see if they did this the way I wanted. I guess not. I was hoping that, and we might have to change this, where any ship I manually added to the shipyard goes ahead of the ones that are requested. But see, all of these are requested. So now, when those ships are done, which I suppose I could cheat to show this off, they will all come out. And it's along with, it's also with my other guy, which is a kind of a bug. And let's see, this guy I'm going to set over here. These guys, you'll notice, are not considered idle because they are all going to my to that starbase. Oh. Okay, well, there's a bug. They should have all gone to this. Oh, I think they did. Nope. Okay, so there's a bug. So, yeah, so these guys should have gone. I think the problem is the fleet. Oh, I see what happened. It's because I cheated. The fleet I created is too big to station at the starbase. So it wrecked their directives. But yeah, so they would have gone to the starbase. Let's do it naturally. There. And this guy. Didn't I see another planet? There you go. Turn. All right. Okay, yeah. See, now they all went to the starbase. And now that starbase will prompt me to upgrade it. So I don't have to manage it until it has a bunch of points. It'll go, hey, you should build me some. So now I can come in here and say I want an economic ring and a there you go. And then I can do it again. All right. So now that plus we're gonna get the request another one. Just so we can kind of get out of this weird loop I got from cheating. Hey, this black looks a little jaggy. If you could ask Akil to look at it, it might be a little too shiny.
Okay.
So now the starbase will prompt me again if it has ships to build. So essentially, that way you can really quickly create. You can manage your starbase a little easier. Also, one of the things that we're doing is we're gonna. The other big thing is if you don't want to manually manage them, you could actually just go in here and hit constructor and repeat, and then it'll just keep cranking out constructors, and then as they come out, you can either assign them on a rally point, or you could say go to this starbase, or you could set them to a rally point, and then they'll just stack up there, and then as you request constructors, they'll fly out to whatever starbase you're asking for. So hopefully that'll go a long way. We had a more elaborate plan, but this was an easier way to manage it, and I think a nice compromise. Hopefully people will like that. It'll save a lot of time.
Cool. We were actually checking out ships, and there is a question. When designing the ships for the game, were they originally, which came first? Did you design the ships and then break them into parts, or were they designed parts? And then
well, that is the great question. The answer is both. When we first started the game, I wasn't actually the lead designer originally, so they had started by concepting all the ships. And then when I came on, I was like, wait a second, you guys. In Galactic 2, the best ships came out of essentially designing them out of the parts. So we had a bunch of designs, and it's in a lot of cases like we did. But you'd be surprised, like when you look at the concept, how few of the actual concepts end up ships. Because once you have the parts, the Terrans, And here's a little insider note for everybody: is the I'm going to go ahead and just soak the Terran the balanced ships, the Avatar, the Fury, the Paladin. Those are all the ships as they were concepted, and then the rest are made out of the parts that were originally designed. And then we also added additional parts after that. And then, like I said, you get a good designer who comes in. And, I mean, if you look at these, I mean, these are beautiful, kind of neat ships. They look nothing like the original concepts. And that's because, I mean, as anybody who plays the game knows, once you get going with these crazy, with a ship designer, you realize that the sky's the limit.
Cool.
Oh, what?
Looks like it is questions time. Let's see. Let me scan the chat here real quick.
I thought we were pretty solid. I wonder if it's something to do with one of the cheats I did. Anyways, yeah, give me another question.
Let's see. Actually, this one was in reference to production and research overflow in beta 5. Will it exist? A multi-item per turn?
No. I mean, we've talked about this 1,000 times. You can research multiple. If you get enough techs, if you get a bunch of tech points, like from a trait, you could do multiple techs at a time. But that's you can actually, if you're doing, if you have a shipyard making 50 points a turn, and or getting 50 points a turn of manufacturing, and you're building a 40 or a 25, or you're building a 40 turn ship, a 40 ship, it will finish that ship in one turn. The 10 remaining points will flow into the next turn, right? But you're still doing 40. So what will end up happening is you will build the next ship again, but essentially you've lost 20 points. The reason we do this is because we don't want you to encourage you to. Anyways, we have a bunch of reasons. There's a bunch of gameplay reasons, and it causes a bunch of problems if you can create multiple units in a turn. Most games solve this problem by just not letting you. Not everything costs so much that you at least takes one turn. But because we have custom ships and custom ship designs, you can make things cheaper. Or you could, and because we let you have multiple sponsors on a shipyard, you could be cranking out a ton of production points, and that will then make it so you're blowing through ships. So in beta 5, like I said, we only overflow one point, but I understand that a lot of people don't like that. I have some ideas on how to address it that will make it more efficient, so you can build groups of ships, but we're not necessarily ever going to let you build multiple ships out of a shipyard in one turn. The only way you can do that really is to just have multiple shipyards, which is an option. And it just opens a big can of worms.
Oh, this one's interesting in reference to, is there an option to turn off tech trading in beta 5?
I don't know if it's enabled. There is an option to turn off tech trading, but I'm not sure if it's enabled yet. It might not be in beta 5. It will be in eventually. It's definitely it's on the startup screen. I would go back there, but we made it so you can't go back there and come back to your game.
Will allied races start to cluster together?
I guess I don't know what they mean by that. Oh, you mean on the diplomacy screen?
Just, I guess in general, it's just a question from the forums. It's really interesting. It's an intriguing question.
Well, they won't necessarily. Your geographic distance has no bearing on your alliance.
Okay.
But yeah, if you're in the diplomacy screen, as a matter of fact, it looks like I have set up where I'm on an alliance with Alteria. You can see that we're in this circle together. And if I clear the fog of war and say hello to everybody,
Look at all these people. There's so many.
Most. Oh, you can tell that.
So
you can tell
many.
the miners by the fact that they have. So you can see that everybody. And now, ignore the fact that our circles are weird looking in this build. All of the neutral players are on this gray. All of the allies, all of my allies, are on here. Now, I think the Drench and the Yor are allied, and that is shown by when you click them. They have a line there. Also, if I say show all, it shows all the lines. All right. And now I'm going to go back to trying to soak and see what happens. Anyways, next question.
Cool. That's actually it's another one referencing actually that
Wow.
diplomacy screen.
I must have the.
Oh, that's really abundant.
What the heck? Anyways, yes.
And in that diplomacy screen, mentioning that if you're if you're either friendly or getting becoming an enemy basically with somebody else, will they actually move further or closer on the diplomacy screen, or is that just all displayed? By
No,
the
that's
lines?
in this stat here. Also, over here you'll see if I select the dredged. Whoa, that's a bug. Oh, it's because they're. Oh, hey, that's a bug. This is showing that they're allied with me, which they aren't, because they're allied with the Yor. I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, yeah, so this little thing will show as they shift left or right. But no, they can't get closer to you. They get closer to you if you are on. They go onto the same ring as you. And also here, let's see what some of these guys look like. Oh, look, there's a little bug right there. That's my fault. What do I know? What else has that? It's just the Yor. I guess. Oh, and this guy. Oh, well, I gotta fix that.
And those are kind of being displayed there. But another question we did have was, for diplomacy, will different races have different positive and negative values? For example, like a xenophobic race that views open borders and trading as negative instead of as positives.
Yepers. As a matter of fact, let's see here. Like you can look just at this here. Let's see who's. I think Altarians. Well, we are allies, so that gives me. I'm pretty much good to go. We have the same. If you look here, it says we share a border. We have the same attitude with the race. We have open borders treaty. Okay, because I have an alliance with them, that didn't really work. But we have same ideology. What the heck? That's a bug. They should definitely not be neutral. Well, maybe they are. And you are in a race with this one doesn't. Oh, because I don't have shared borders with them. But yes, if you are xenophobic and you have shared border with somebody, it's like double the impact. If you put your ship into a xenophobic race's area, they get even more paranoid. If somebody's really peaceful, they will be less likely to start a war with you over something. If somebody's really militaristic, or they will be more likely to go to war with you. So there's all the personality traits do stuff. Holy, what the? Oh, I think somebody was, holy moly, that's a black hole bonanza.
It is indeed dangerous to go alone.
That is hilarious. Okay, so we were testing the new resources, and I think they changed them up high to make sure that we could test them, and it must have accidentally got checked in. I wonder if it's only on this map size. I think I will stop this game. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and exit completely.
We did have a question about will custom races be able to have their own dialogue?
Right now, all of the custom races. Oh, you mean the custom factions?
Yeah. How the question? Yeah. Have their own custom dialogue, basically.
Not currently.
Okay.
The only thing we could do is let you pick from a set of dialogue, because there's so many very specific things, like, the Dredge talking to the humans, or the Yor talking to the... though it seems like that would be a really cool future idea. I mean, certainly you could do it with a mod,
Right.
but what's going on? Is this? Yeah, certainly you could do it with a mod, but no. Currently, we don't have like a text editor. You have no idea how big the. Actually, I ironically will have a text editor in the basic, in the editor that we will release to modders a couple of weeks after release. That will allow you to do that, but we're not going to have something like that that's built into the game because it's essentially you'd have to have this giant matrix of Word files, and it gets pretty complicated. But as a modder, if you're making a Star Trek mod or something, you could totally do it.
Also, speaking of modders, can modders make custom ideology traits with their own values and how much it will take to unlock a trait?
Yes.
Okay.
The triggers that are hard coded are limited, but you could make your own traits, and you could even theoretically make that tree bigger and stuff like that. It might require some screen tweaking to do it, but yeah, that would definitely be in the modding category.
Okay. Oh, there was mention about the logistics cap. Like in the current game right now, what is the highest you can get yours at?
I think you could get it to 64.
Okay.
And then if with the different fighters and stuff, you can actually get your fleets up to around 64 or slightly above ships. That's where it gets really nasty.
Oh, here's a good one too. Mentioning if we had fixed the
Holy moly!
fixed the ship list so that we don't get tons of the like M0 ships in the list every time they research a new tech, for example.
We were talking about making an option to hide those. The problem is you get a new version of the ship every time you unlock a new tech of the blueprint ships. So we can't really selectively say, oh, he only wants to see these ones. So what we are going to do is make the list a filter so you can just shut them off and only see your ships. But we don't want to hide it because like players who aren't designing their own ships need to be able to get those new ships.
Okay.
What just happened? Is this going to keep happening? It's embarrassing. Maybe I'll...
Oh, and you did touch on this earlier, but could we have... There's a request for... Could we have a game with 100 major races and 100 minor races? Or would there be kind of a limiter or like a balance?
Well, the minor
those?
races are set by a slider, so I think technically the most minor races you could have is 12.
Okay.
So you could have 112 theoretically. I'm not sure if we limit it. I'll have to check on that.
Okay. And kind of will you be able to set those minors? Like how many so far, or was that like down the road?
No, like I said, there's already there's an amount. It's like, are they abundant? Are they regular? Then it's randomized.
Gotcha. The modders though, will they be able to kind of tweak those values?
Modders could add a bunch of minor races if they want. Modders could do pretty much anything we could do.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool. Let's see. Oh, there's a question about in the ship class designer. Are weapon mount points still generic, or have they already been changed to a weapon specific mount point?
I'm not quite sure what they mean.
This is up and running again. So,
ooh, look at that.
What
I'm not quite sure what they mean. Weapon mount points generic, or are they? Oh, you mean like if this mount point is only for lasers?
Yes.
No, we actually don't do that because otherwise you end up with, say, I want to grab I want to grab a template ship and use it as a ship, but in this game I'm not using lasers. Then all the lasers would go on randomly. Either that, or you'd have to build like redundant ones in each thing. So what we do is just a category by defense or a weapon type, and that way, if you want to use a bomber to make a sniper, you can.
Oh, and there's mention too. Will we be able to select the ship's role manually?
Well, we talked about this a little last week. Let's go ahead and do that. Here, I'll. Okay, so the way roles work is you have to. Actually, it might be worth it to unlock. Actually, let's still kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Here we go. Test. Run. Test. Tier 3. Oh, apparently I didn't actually put that. Oh, I spelled tier wrong. And then I spelled it wrong again. T-I-E. Okay, so the way roles work is by the way the ship is built. So you don't actually ever say I am a guardian. You design the ship to be a guardian. So this ship is a capital ship, and it is a capital ship for very specific reasons. It is more threatening than it is strong, but it is also very valuable. If I go down to the cutter here. The cutter is an assault ship. It is more threatening than it has a strong. It's fortitude, but I'm going to keep calling it strength because that's how I designed it. It drives me nuts. And it's only a little bit valuable. So this ship will rush out there and target, and you can read right below here, it says, will target and pursue high threat, high value ships, which means primarily it'll go after escorts and capital ships. If I go to a capital ship, it'll say it will attack anything with a. See, now that is a clipping bug. Anything with a high value, and but it'll attack anything that comes near it, but will prefer high value targets. So if a bunch of little interceptors come in, it'll ignore them to target another capital ship or an escort. And then here, this is an escort. This ship will attempt to defend high-value targets. So this guy is going to defend capital ships, and if there are no capital ships, it'll defend support ships or even escorts if they're high enough value. So this essentially is, these things are all dependent on the way you build the ship. And by right now, you can see that these are just all the default ships, and these threat and value and fortitude are not necessarily directly related to the weapon. Some things like armor is better for fortitude than shields are, and long-range missiles are a bigger threat than kinetic weapons because kinetic weapons have a shorter range. So these things, why they're kind of smaller numbers, is because they're not directly related to the type of weapon, but each weapon type adds that. So let's design a new ship. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to, let's see, let's take this guy, and I'm going to give him a thruster, which will make him faster. And I'm going to give him a sparrow because those give me pretty good damage. And you can see he's an interceptor now because he's pretty much all threat and he's small. So this guy's going to run out and try and kill the support ships. And if there's no support ships, it'll go after capital ships. Oh, actually, no, if it's no support ships, it'll go after other interceptors than capital ships. Let's see. And then, but if I want to go ahead here and start putting on some armor, I'm going to put on, here's another big change I've made. I'm going to put one of these armor on here. You'll notice that armor now gives all 3 types of defense, but only less efficiently. So it's giving me a 14 to armor, to kinetic weapons, but it also gives me a little bit of point defense and a little bit of shield defense. Whereas shields don't do that. So I'm going to add but I really want more chaff. So I'm going to put, I know that the missiles are the longest range, so I'm going to put some chaff on here. So now I've got this very high defense ship. And he is still, for some reason... Oh, it's because of the thruster. I'm going to put one more. I'm going to put a deflector on here. All right. Now he's Guardian. So now this guy is... It's this... They're like, why on Earth... The logic is essentially saying, why on Earth are you putting something to increase your tactical speed on something that's going to be stuck guarding things? So if I remove this... It is definitely in Guardian Town. I could even take off probably one of these now. All right. So yeah, so this is a Guardian now. Now I could put more weapons on him still. And if I get enough weapons up, it's going to go, wait a second, he's too good to waste. Let's get him out there in the field. Okay, see, I had to take him up to quite a bit, add 2 more weapons to get him to be more defensive. And at this point, I'm going to be running out of space pretty fast. Mostly it's probably because I'm using these crappy weapons and I have all of the miniaturization techs unlocked. Let's put a harpoon on. Let's screw this stinger garbage. Okay, let's put 2 harpoons. And then I'm going to put the best armor and the best point defense. And now we're back to Guardian mode. So anyways, that's how these work. Now let me really quick also, while we're in here, show a couple things. We have added a invert. We already had invert materials, but I made it have its own button finally. All the ship designers are like, it's been there forever. Well, you might notice that it always said flip. And then we have added the ability, and I'm pretty sure this works with components too. Maybe not. There we go. To hide things. So his wings are missing now, which is a little silly. You can still kind of see it because we don't want you to get completely lost. This is really ideal for when you want to do kind of crazy designs. So you can hide parts now. And that's how we hide the cube on all of the ships now. So hopefully that answers the role question a little bit.
I know the invisible part's really cool.
It's funny because the invisible parts don't really add anything that... apparently you can't make a component invisible, and that's probably on purpose. I'll have to think about whether that we should be able to do that.
One thing I was thinking about, actually, did you want to discuss invasion or show, or like kind of show the screen off at all today?
No, there's some tooltip weirdness.
Not quite yet. Okay.
Not quite today. Next week we'll show it for sure.
Yeah.
Although I do want to say it's not going to be done even next week. It's going to be ready to show, which is not the same as done. And now let's have a battle, since we haven't had a battle today.
Okay.
You can see what happened. Did I actually not click on them? Activate war. You cannot declare war. Oh, I think we are maybe allies. Or maybe they have that one trait that they picked that one trait. Is there somebody I can declare war with? Oh, I might have to restart if I want to see that battle. Anyways, next question.
Just looking through the chat right now, actually, because we went through all the forums questions, so we really appreciate everybody posting the questions on the forums, so we were able to go through them. In the chat, in the map editor, can you place... oh, yeah, in the map editor, can you place as many planets as you want around a single star and make some kind of crazy map if you want?
In the map editor, yeah.
Okay.
But it would... yeah, you could actually create like a circle, which would actually break the game because you could get inside of it. But yeah, the map editor is pretty powerful. It's still not ready for outside. Is this a pirate? Oh no, this is. Ooh, this guy's got a resource. Yeah, I'm gonna have to kill him. Kind of mad about that. this one more time again. Anyways, so we have any other questions?
Let's see. This kind of ties into with the game. Any plans on shield worlds, like to actually protect a planet by an energy barrier?
Well, we have actually for planetary defense. There's like planetary defense fields, and what those do is they make it. They directly modify the amount of invading forces. We have essentially planetary defense works like this. So you'd have a defense grid or whatever, which essentially is like my planet's defense is now at 100%, which means if an invading force would literally get cut in 100%, it would get killed. But the problem is you could have bonuses that lower that. So, the invader could have something that lowers that. So I've gone crazy. It's late game. I've got all the best components. I've decided to waste like 5 tiles on planetary defense. I have 100% planetary defense. Somebody can then use a bombardment or something that then negates 50% of your planetary defense, and then they can come in and kill your planet. So yes, there is some stuff like that will defense. How visual that will be in the map is still kind of what we're working
on now. Okay. Please show invasion soon. So there's quite a bit of excitement in the chat for that right now. That's what I was checking.
Let me show it. Just don't get mad at me if it's weird, because it's not done. Here, let's see. I need to colonize all random. I just gave the galaxy to everybody on a random level. So happy birthday, Galaxy. Now I'm going to make myself some transports. This is kind of a long, as I was just hearing from Derek, who's having to do the.
Yeah. The actually, and here's one comment too I did see a couple times, and I wanted to ask you if would there be a way to kind of demonstrate that one-turn production overflow is working? Because that's what they were asking for.
You should essentially, the easiest way would be to, well, I don't know. Let's see. If you're building, if you're making 60, okay, here we go. This is really silly, Leo Ryman. Oh wait, okay. Say you're making 60 turns. A shipyard's making 60 freaking production points per turn, or manufacturing points per turn. You make a ship that is a value of 30. Okay. It will finish the one ship that turn. The next turn, I probably should. I'm pretty sure that would work. The next turn, you should essentially get one ship faster than you normally would. But I'll look into it. I brought this up to the dev team several times, and they're like, no, it's working. I've tested it every time I ask. So now I need to make sure that I'm not a liar. So I'll work on that. I just make everything more expensive. It'll solve the problem. One of the things we did do is we limited the number of sponsors a planet could have. And I know people aren't necessarily going to love that. Oh, I don't know if we talked about this either. The Terrans now have this one feature. Their planetary trait gives them their first improvement on every planet for free. I guess it doesn't count for Earth. So every planet you colonize, you get your first non-wonder improvement for free, which is pretty cool. And then your shipyards no longer have a degradation decay. So you can put your Terran starbase all the way over here if you wanted, and it would still return the same. And so that's going to be an adventure. Anyways. Any other questions?
Just really excited to see how the production stuff goes. A lot of the comments right now in the chat. I am scanning through it though.
Mode stat. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna go find somebody to. Let's go invade. Uh-oh, there was the snathy. Okay, so let's invade this Iridium planet right here. Man. I said, I was going on hotkeys, right? Okay. All right. Oh, damn it. I don't have invasion tech. Yeah, you can't cheat. Cheating creates all kinds of weird things. Anyways, do we have any other questions?
We just had one come in for will sector lines be activated for Galciv 3? Currently, they're only available via the console for internal test builds. And they were great featuring Galciv 2.
No, it's not the plan.
Okay.
Okay, so here's a bug. This is why I didn't want to show this. So the background is blank. The transport, this essentially says how many transports are invading, how many transport modules you have on it, what your soldering skill is, and what your invading force is. So I have 8 guys on here. My soldering skill is 50%. I probably shouldn't even show this with this broken. This is embarrassing. Anyway, so then the planet's population, the defense of the planet. Okay, this stat is working. So this planet has pretty much no planetary defense, so I'm going to be able to murder them. And their resistance is at 50, should be at 57, which means their population on the planet's surface will fight back at a 57% efficiency. And then as I go down here, you can see there's these different stats, which, oh God, I really shouldn't have shown this. Anyways, you can see here it says biological warfare, and it'll tell you reasons why it's good to use this, and what your odds are, and how much it costs, and the bonuses you get from these different types of warfare. And then you hit start, and then here's the planet. Here's your constructor, your transport, which should be moving but isn't. And then you will start the battle, and this little log will show up. And in the long term, what's going to happen is it'll be firing off invasion pods, and it'll be firing off defense systems depending on what your invasion method is. And this guy had no buildings, so this is a very, very uneventful invasion. And it'll show, and you don't actually have to show this log. I have this currently showing all the time because with no graphics, I mostly needed to know how it's working. So they will go through, each battalion will go through each sector and fight, as you saw them check it out. And as they go through, oh, there's a bug. As they go through, they will fight, and the X number of population will die, and X number of soldiers will survive. They'll move on to the next sector. If you have multiple pods, you'll be doing 2 sectors at a time. If you have 3 constructors with 2 pods each, you'll be doing 12 pods at a time. And you can blow right through a planet. And so this is basically how invasion works. Hopefully that wasn't too anticlimactic. But yeah, so now I've got this planet. Oh, and also different invasion techniques will also have long-term ramifications on the planet. They will blow up tiles. They'll blow up improvements. They will affect modifiers onto the planet for the next 25 turns or so. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of choices to be made about how you invade. Let's do one battle before we leave here.
Cool. While you're setting up that battle, there is one question that keeps popping up, and it's a little different from the usual, but I would feel bad if we didn't mention it. And the person is asking, what's it like working at Stardock?
Oops. Well, you have to learn. You apparently don't need to be able to spell. It's working at Stardock is pretty great. I've been here now 11 years, and I came on back when we were just finishing up Galactic 1, and I mean, I guess Ray should also answer this question because he works here too, but. We're a nice mix of a big company and a little company. We're big enough to where we can really do some amazing stuff, and we're small enough to where we don't get lost in the race to the bottom of spending $100 million on a game to make $150 million. So we're kind of a small, tight group who just loves making games. We kind of, I mean, this is Brad's dream, I think, always was to just be able to have fun, and because he liked games, and he was able to make this company that does that. So I'm gonna go to free, I think. Now you notice I actually have this set to start. There's a checkbox now to let you which star map. Ooh, that's nice. That's pretty. To not auto start, which is what I have. And then these guys are a little too friendly, and they're gonna shoot apart. I'll just move away so you can't see it. Anyways, so now the battle's starting. You can dial down the engine trails quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go. Now the fire is commencing.
You can see the little point defenses on these guys who are shooting down the missiles. See that? They shoot down the missiles as the missiles are coming in. Somebody's got a Doom Ray. Who's got a Doom Ray? I thought I didn't. Oh, I unlocked. Crap. Yeah, everybody's got Doom Rays. Okay, never mind. So this is going to be a short-ish battle. Also, I don't know. I one of the things that's coming in Beta 4, which I can't really demo here, is all of the support modules, which I mentioned earlier. But essentially, you could then put a ship back here, or put on a large ship, put a support ship, surround it by Guardians or whatever, that has components that give your whole fleet bonuses to weapons or to defenses or all kinds of things. That's what I'm working on right now, making sure those are in the game. Oh, I just realized we're at half speed. Oh, that's a little better. That was a very slow battle. We still have to fix this weird. This guy is guarding this ship, I guess. He is guarding this ship. Anyways, and now he's dead. So I think battles are coming along really nicely. Movement is a lot better. We only have like 1 or 2 little movement issues left. And then one thing we still want to do is make it so the ships are a little better at not shooting through themselves. But that's just one of the kind of prices we pay for not having firing arcs. So.
Okay. We're actually
Oh, well.
we're done for time for today. It's always good to end on a high note, though, right? With that victory.
Let's watch this one in cinematic mode while we go out here. Oh.
Is there any other big things you want to cover before we head out?
There
for the
is so much. The one thing I would say is Beta 5 is pretty huge. We're not quite feature complete in Beta 5, but we're a lot closer. So hopefully people will, a lot of the complaints you've had, micromanagement issues, the battles being kind of stale, all of those things are really going to get shaken up. And hopefully we won't make anybody too mad because, people have come up with cool exploits for broken systems and are going to be mad when they can't do them anymore. This is weird. The cinematic camera is just sticking with that one ship. That is very rare. Maybe it got changed. Did they just fly through each other? No, it was just look like that. Anyway, so so it's going to be a pretty big change. A lot of new features. We want people to bang on these things and then we'll see if we need to do a beta 6, and we'll decide from then. But mostly we just want to make sure the game is good and fun.
Okay, awesome.
Boom.
Just real quick to wrap up, we did try to go through most of the questions today. If you have a question, please feel free to put it on the forums. We love hearing your feedback. And I'm there. You should see my name floating around on there, checking out all the support forums. So please feel free to post any questions you have there, especially the feedback coming in from the latest beta. Let's see. And to keep up with the news for Galciv, please stop by and check out our Facebook and Twitter. I know we're usually constantly putting out all the good stuff there, so you guys can keep up to date. And then also, too, I want to make sure I mention, as far as Stardock goes, that we have our next stream that we'll be doing. The next one coming up would be next Wednesday. We will be doing Sorcerer King, and that's at the 12 p.m. Pacific time. And also, too, if you are ever curious, like, when is the next show? When can you get some more Stardock? If you scroll down a bit on our page, and we have the full schedule, the full lineup there. If you want to make sure, you keep your time straight and everything. Once again, though, thank you again for stopping by, and we will see you later. Bye, everybody.